are listening to your brain on air. The program will begin shortly. Enjoy.
Bạn đang nghe chính bộ não của mình phát sóng trực tiếp. Chương trình sẽ bắt đầu trong thời gian ngắn nữa. Chúc bạn thưởng thức.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Your Brain on Air. I'm your host, Ollie Vogt Larson, and the state of our union, folks, it's bitchin'. Regardless of the fact that the president doesn't actually have the power over anything legislative, as I think the Constitution outlines right here, Article 1, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States. We still, as Americans, we love a good show. So, we Hollywood it up. We get him out in front of a podium, and we have him rattle off. It has been a him, unfortunately, the entirety of our time. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for diversity's sake. We were that close with Kamala Harris and Hillary, but for just continuity's sake, I refer to it as a him. We still have this little shebang. We throw him up in a little suit behind a podium. He rattles off a few hopeful messages, maybe a call out or five. People from both parties, they refuse to clap, even for the most humane things, just because the wrong party said it. Like Trump could go reduce the deaths, and Democrats this day will go, is that a dog whistle for abortion bans? Biden, he would go like, let's unite as one after COVID. And the Republicans, they went, is he trying to say that he wants open border rapists to kill your children? Like, no one is honest. Everyone is performative, and I look forward to it every time, because every time I am guaranteed an interesting watch. For one of many reasons. With Biden, if you don't remember, it was kind of like, I hope that he can do this and not fall over, or have a neurological episode on camera. And with Trump, it's similar. I hope he doesn't have a heart failure episode after years of abuse, or I hope that he doesn't call for the invasion of a new country. Like, guys, in case you're not aware, Peter Thiel, he needs that land up in Greenland because that is where Praxis, the nation that they're building on the internet, they want to build this sort of, I don't even know how to describe it. Their website says it's like the city that's going to win the 21st century. Look it up, Praxis, the Praxians. It's a city-state run on cryptocurrency that the world elite started planning back when COVID hit. Look it up. We're going to talk about it next episode. Anyways, so Trump is going to announce, I'm assuming tonight, that the Rose Garden, it's been turned into a Dunes casino, like from Vegas style attraction, and the Michelle Obama portrait has been corrected to show an appropriate pants crease. Folks, let's talk about our first story. The State of the Union is occurring. It's happening tonight, and I'm excited to cover it. So let's hop into our first story. Boom. President Trump, it's his own movie, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be lining up to see a movie all about him tonight. President Trump is set to take the stage for the United States Capitol tonight, at the United States Capitol, for his 2026 Union Address. Folks, if I were president, I must be honest with you, I would drop the State of the Union Address because, admittedly, it has the energy of why are we all here? Couldn't this have been something that you sat at your desk up in the office for? Like, this is something that we used to sit around the TVs with TV dinners, sit with your family, kids gather around. The president is going to address us, but now you force everybody from Congress to show up. It's still the same for everybody at home, but what I'm saying is everybody in Congress hates you as a result of this. So this is a great way to lower your popularity. The president, he's expected to lean heavily into the booming America theme, touting the surge in domestic manufacturing. The stock market has recently crossed a 50,000 point milestone, as pointed out very well by Pam Bondi. She said, "The Dow, it's historic." However, the address is coming amid a lot of scrutiny. In case you don't know, they've had a little bit of trouble with the Supreme Court ruling. They struck down his signature global tariff policy. It's a decision the president has already vowed to maneuver around to protect his America First economic agenda beyond the economy. The specter of military conflict and internal division looms large over the House chamber. Trump is expected to address the massive military buildup in the Middle East, where 2 aircraft carriers are currently positioned for a potential strike against Iran. Domestically, his immigration crackdown remains a flashpoint where he's going to champion his administration's mass deportation efforts, where admittedly they have deported very few people. They've just been cruel about it. And he's facing a deeply polarized audience following a recent high-profile violence during enforcement actions, as we've covered for a while in Minnesota with Renee Good and Alex Preddy, 2 little hooligans who really shouldn't have stirred themselves up into the action that they got into. Did they deserve to die? Probably not, but they were fucking morons. And anybody who disagrees with that take, you're not honest. The atmosphere inside the room, it's going to be notably tense. Dozens of Democrats have announced they're going to boycott a section of the speech, opting instead for the People's State of the Union rally on the National Mall. What? This is like when TPUSA hosted their own fucking, like, knock it off, guys. Enough. We're doing one because that's what we do. Anyways, ABC 7 Chicago, tell me a bit.
Just hours away from President Trump delivering his State of the Union address.
Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo is here with details on what the president is expected to focus on. Tim.
Rachel, John, the economy top of mind for just about every American, and that includes President Trump, who is expected to tout what he calls economic strength, despite a major Supreme Court loss on the tariffs, a market tumbling, and a high disapproval rating specifically on the economy. Now, the president's first State of the Union of his second term will focus on what the Trump administration sees as a booming economy, with a rise in U.S. manufacturing and new jobs, despite many Americans just not feeling that way. Trump also expected to address the Supreme Court ruling against his signature tariff policies, but foreign policy may also take center stage, with 2 U.S. aircraft carriers dispatched to the Middle East, as President Trump has said he is considering a limited strike on Iran. This speech will be an attempt to convince an increasingly wary Americans that the U.S. is on the right path. A new ABC News Washington Post poll shows 62% disapprove of the president's handling of U.S. relations with other countries, and 57% unhappy with how he's handling the economy.
57.
The president sees it differently.
We have a country that's now doing well. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have the
Greatest
most
economy.
activity we've ever had. I'm making a speech tomorrow night, and you'll be hearing me say that. I mean, it's going to be a long speech because we have so much to talk about.
There are some Democrats, including from California, who plan to boycott the State of the Union this evening, and others even plan.
What does this accomplish, guys? I'm so sick of people doing the thing where it's like, we're gonna do our own little thing. TPUSA, and they claim they were like, we got 6 million viewers. It's like 6 million. That's not the first 6 million that I've heard in question, but admittedly, goddamn, the numbers they reported was ridiculous. They were like, we cracked the top 10 biggest live performances of all time on the platform, and then you look at the actual view count, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. These people are trying to do their own State of the People's Union at the National Mall. What are we doing, guys? They're going to go, I'm guessing, heavy on the Epstein stuff. They're going to go like, yeah, he's not addressing it. He's never going to. So that's just like a fantasy. Don't ever expect, by the way, and I know that people are going to get mad at me for this take. I want people to just get honest. Trump is never going to really try to focus on this again. He, in his mind, after they passed the Transparency Act, he went, we're the most transparent administration in history. You heard it from Pam Bondi. We are done with this. We're leaving it in the past. So it is going to have to be another administration or another couple of years in the future where anything actually happens, where people start getting pulled into courts, people start actually, going down for shit. I'm just telling you that the Clintons aren't going to jail. Trump's not going to jail. These fantasies where people go QAnon, it's happening. The storm is coming. We're all gonna see these people thrown into jail. You will die before you see these people held to account, and they will too.
Events at the same time in Washington. The official Democratic response will come from Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, the first woman to serve as governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
For fun. I mean, for fun.
U.S. President Donald Trump is set to give his first formal State of the Union speech of his second term on Tuesday, and it's likely to be a long night of choreographed tension and conflict. Trump's speech comes just days after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned his signature global tariffs. Trump has sharply criticized the 6 justices who voted to strike them down, including 2 he appointed and Chief Justice John Roberts.
Oof, got him.
Ruled against this the policy, striking it down. Are they still invited to your State of the Union next week? And will you still
Yeah.
They are invited, barely.
Barely.
Andrew Smith, a political science professor at the University of New Hampshire, says the Supreme Court's fresh decision is likely to heighten the suspense during Trump's State of the Union address.
My sense is, given the Supreme Court decision on tariffs, that he will be coming out swinging against Democrats.
Swinging.
I think there'll probably be more attacks in this State of the Union than typically is the case
Trump's speech also comes amid a sagging approval rating on his handling of the economy, with November's midterm elections in focus. Meanwhile, Democrats, who need to flip just 3 Republican-held seats in the House of Representatives to win a majority, have blamed Trump's tariffs for exacerbating the rising cost of living.
But it's probably more critical for the president to do a good job in the State of the Union address, because in midterm elections, the president's party almost always loses seats. And the House of Representatives is razor thin already. The Republicans lose 5-10 seats, which is well in range. They could even lose 20 seats this year.
Nice.
That means that President Trump's last 2 years in office are really going to be hamstrung by congressional resistance that he hasn't faced these first 2 years.
In recent years, defining moments of presidential speeches have often been confrontational, as in 2009 when Republican Joe Wilson heckled former President Barack Obama.
The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally. It's not true.
You lie!
This year, Democrats may use the stage to protest, as former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did when she ripped up her copy of Trump's speech in 2020.
I would not be surprised to see kind of on-the-floor demonstrations by Democratic members of Congress.
Yeah, there's going to be flags, there's going to be signs. Then, by the way, guys, when I win the presidency shortly, it'll be 2028 that we can have the election, 2029 when I assume office, and that'll probably be, it'll be 2030 when my first State of the Union is. And I've drafted up my State of the Union address that I will be giving the peoples. This is predictive in the future, guys. This is crazy. If you're ready, this is actually the State of the Union, if we were honest. This is us if we want to go ahead and we want to drop all the bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually my campaign for president in the form of our current addressing of the State of the Union. Good evening, everyone. If I were smart, I would go home. And if you were smart, you would turn off your television. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, sorry, mine wouldn't be a madam. It just wouldn't be, I'm sorry. Members of Congress, my fellow Americans, we are ramping up, and America is back and better than ever. After repealing the 14th Amendment, we finally re-enslaved most of the population. Y'all wanted equality? You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, me and all my politician buddies can now buy all of you paupers equally. We're done with the smoke and mirrors. There is birth control in your water to lower the fertility rate. We're sowing drugs into black and brown communities in the inner city. But we didn't put a gun to their head and make them take it. It's just like the white people who live out in the mountainous regions. It's their natural inability to control their wants, and we prey on that. We're addicting your children to music that'll have your son calling himself at 9 a certified gigolo. Your daughter is a whore, sorry to break it to you, but she's had more men in her than the Baghdad House of Wisdom has. She's emotionally and financially reliant on a man who's parasocially obsessed with her on OnlyFans. Just slime out your whole family, straight up. Next road trip that you guys have, drive that Chevy Equinox off a goddamn cliff. Maybe in the fraction of time when they realize what you're doing before the ground meets their skulls, your family will finally find it in their hearts to respect you, or at the very least fear you and the decisions that you've made. Folks, we aren't bringing the cost of healthcare down. We're not in charge of that, dummies. Hospitals set the prices that insurers pay. Burn down your local clinic if you're so mad. Yes, Fauci and Bill Gates, they're trying to kill you with mRNA and vaccines. They've given young men heart attacks and myocarditis. So what? You guys really gonna go get unvaxxed now? Too late. We've already planted the proteins with the first COVID booster to create plaque in your brains and give you Alzheimer's, and the studies out there to prove it. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in a future of honesty, transparency, and truth. That's why we're dismantling the entire system of government, and we're recessing back to our old primitive ways of traditional nation states, cities surrounded by walls, and some very terrifying forms of techno-feudalism. Guys, where do you as the individual fit into this picture, you're probably thinking? With tech pioneered in Japan, of all places, we're going to be transforming your footsteps into electricity to power the AI data centers that will play your girlfriends. You will come home and you will just see this big mainframe with a screen and a speaker and a hole, and you're just gonna get the base conversation with this Alexa style device, and then whenever you want, you can just say sex now or procreate, and then it just opens the hole, and then in the front and you fuck that, and then we harvest your semen and impregnate more women in farms that we've kidnapped for organ harvesting or baby production to create future worker drones who will live the same Alexa filling real human connection lifestyle that you live today, folks. If you don't like it, it's too late. Peter Thiel is already shipping these wife units next month. Pre-order now, guys. Folks, I see a future where we have built the human race up from the ground up. We are going to, listen, we are redefining what it means to be human with all of my rich buddies. It's too hard to save the planet. Above all, I see a future for all, and this is important, all rich Americans. I will always be a president for all wealthy Americans because I believe in America. I believe in you, the affluent, well-moneyed American people. You're the reason we've never been more optimistic about our future than we are now. So let's build a future together. Let's remember who we are. We are the United States of America. And there is nothing beyond our capacity when we act together by signing our organ donor cards and denying that we have the cure for cancer. God bless you all, and may God protect our good drones and good Goyim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would get thunderous applause. And I will be the most honest president you've had since Kennedy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to my first State of the Union address. Look forward to the one that they have on TV for you. It's not going to be nearly as truthful. It's not going to be nearly as forthright. It's not going to be anything, quite frankly, compared to the one that I've just given you. But I've just given you one that has more information than they'll ever give you on CNN. It's more information than your family members will ever be comfortable with. Because admittedly, when you look into and when you research, when you look into things, you start to sound like the crazy person. That's America, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the state of our union. Now it's time to address the state of Minnesota. Tim Walz, what are you up to? Play this new story. Walz introduces gun violence package in the Minnesota legislature. What on earth are you doing, Governor Tim Walz? Well, I'll tell you what he's doing. He says, in his own words, he's laying out a comprehensive plan today at the Minnesota State Capitol to address gun violence in the state. What are we doing, guys? I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know. It's coming amid a renewed public concern over several mass shootings in Minnesota over the past year, including the tragic shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis last August. Claimed the lives of several children, injured many others. Walz, he stood along several legislative leaders, survivors, and community advocates as he unveiled the details of what he's calling the gun violence prevention package. I love how he sells this, aimed at strengthening safety across communities. The package being introduced includes a range of proposals that would ban military-style assault rifles and high-capacity magazines. Fuck you. That's not what the majority of these shootings are committed with. The majority of these shootings are committed with handguns. If you want to address the actual problem, you're gonna have to deal with the mental health of these individuals, or just do a fucking flat-out gun ban if you hate them that much. But you cannot ban military-style assault rifles. It's people's right to own them. I'm sorry. It's not arguable. It's not arguable. I've known people who have them and own them, and I know people will go, what do you even need them for? They need them because they want them. They need them because they want them, and it's their right to own an AK-47. It's expanding the requirements around safe storage and it's going to close loopholes such as those involving untraceable ghost guns. Wait a minute, requiring safe storage. This means that a gun inspector is going to come into your house in Minnesota. God already knows the amount of laws that there are around guns, but they're going to have to make sure that you own a safe. They're going to come into your house, and they're going to see where you store your guns. Does that make you comfortable? The government knowing exactly where you hide your guns in the instance of government tyranny. And by the way, government tyranny is not just a right-wing fear now. I know liberals who are looking at ICE and they're going, I need to buy a gun. I need to flat out buy a gun to defend myself from the government. It's not a crazy belief, guys. No matter what you think, tyrannical government is still a thing. You need to believe in it. 1776 will rise again. It's just a fact, and it always will. Walz has said that the goal is to make Minnesota one of the safest states in the nation without undermining responsible gun ownership rights. Fuck you. Fuck you. I want to own an AK-47. I don't want to hear nothing about no dead children.
And then you're going to be hearing from Bianca and Tommy, but you're also going to be hearing from Lydia. And
I got so many fucking I got kids who were shot in the neck over here just to make you feel extra. I got some girl, she's in a wheelchair because of gun owners like you hillbilly northern Minnesotans. I'm actually from Nebraska. My name's Tim Walz, and I'm a fucking phony.
I'd just like to note, I oftentimes say this in times of tragedy,
Tragedy.
where the courage of people come from who are in the midst of tragedy in their own struggles.
They're the perfect pawns to push forward my legislation. That's exactly why you're going to hear from some lady who can't even use her legs anymore.
That and channel it into action. And that's exactly what we're doing here today.
Yeah.
We gavelled in the House last week in a pretty solemn ceremony, because it's the first time since the loss and the murder of Speaker Hortman, Mark, the murder.
I was in Minnesota the day that those two died. Unfortunately, I was sleeping in an Airbnb in Powderhorn Park, and I remember that night I had ordered Raising Cane's, and I had DoorDashed it to this Airbnb, and it was actually, I wasn't allowed to do that. According to the Airbnb, we weren't allowed to have guests over. All these dumb little fucking rules. This is why I don't like Airbnb. But I asked the guy to come to the back door, and I just met him because I was like, I didn't want the other people that I was there with. I was there with my fiance and a couple other people. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, can you come to the back? And he looks at me, he goes, what? He probably thought, he probably heard about the Congress people getting shot that night, and he was like, I'm next. This guy's gonna kill me.
Or the attempted murder of.
It was good Raising Cane's, by the way. I always get the, is it the 3-piece? I'm retarded. I can't remember. I don't get Raising Cane's unless I'm in the cities. I haven't been back since Melissa Hortman got shot, and I bought a dick bong in the store where George Floyd got a 20 refused.
Senator Hoffman and his wife, Yvette. This comes on the heels of the horrific action that took Fletcher and Harper's life, injured 30 others, including Lydia, in a shooting.
Well, yeah.
Minnesotans have been demanding since that day and long before that we not let this issue go away. That in this moment, we've seen this so many times in America. Oh, there's nothing we can do. Isn't that tragic?
Actually, no, there's a lot you can do. You can address the mental health crisis. You can address, listen, we're not in favor of a national gun registry because that is an ultimate sign of tyranny. It is, regardless of you're right or left. The moment that it is first you document, then you confiscate. The Nazis did it. The communists did it. Every country does it.
Another shooting, Uvalde, Parkland, and the names go on. And then to get to that list, now we have enunciation. Well, the difference is in Minnesota that we're not willing to let this go. We are not willing to say this is the way we have to live.
If you pass this, Tim, speaking for people I know in Minnesota, people who love their guns, listen, you might not think that Minnesota is that red of a state. It's more of a purple. It's way more of a purple. A lot of the Democratic people that are in favor of redistributing the wealth are also fucking people who were either POWs themselves or have somebody in their family who's a POW, and they know a little bit about the military. Admittedly, they don't know very much about the military. They'll just go like, oh, so-and-so, my dad or my uncle told me about the military, so now suddenly I know everything. They don't read anything about, like, military contracts. They don't know anything. You say Raytheon and their eyes glaze over. They're like, what is that? It's like, okay, and, you know about the military because maybe your family member gave something for it, but you don't know anything about you don't know anything about the military-industrial complex. Does that three-word combination mean anything to you when I say it? And then like you said, their eyes glaze over. These people love their guns. They love their guns. They love their freedoms, but they also love communism. That's the fascinating thing about Minnesota.
And we're taking action to do something about it. In December, I became the first Minnesota governor to take executive action on gun violence, strengthening current laws on the books, directing state agencies to take concrete steps to prevent gun violence-related injuries and death, and creating the statewide safety council. It was an important first step reflecting what the public was asking us to do, but it was simply that, a first step. Cannot be a back burner issue. We're going to come together with this group here, these legislative leaders.
We're to come together.
The action of the community.
Stop saying come together. I'm sorry, Tom Segura ruined it, I think, with his tour. Come together, I can only think of everybody sitting in a circle together. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. Stop it. How about we convene together? Convene sounds so much better.
With brave individuals like Lydia standing up and making a difference. We've got a comprehensive package. And just to give you an idea what's in here, these are things that data shows us will protect lives, will stop some of these things from happening, and will strengthen what we already have. We're under no illusion that we could stop every single one. But the idea of throwing up your hands and saying, what can we do? When America is the place that this happens, most often it happens day after day after day. There have already been dozens and dozens of mass shootings across this country since the first of the year.
How many mass shootings have there been since the first of the year? Let's literally ask. How many mass shootings have there been since the first of the year? We're gonna ask, and we need to know. There have only been listed. This is 4 or more people shot is what a mass shooting is. 26 confirmed mass shootings in the United States. Guys, hear me out. That's pretty good. Like, only 32 deaths and 85 people wounded as of January 31st, 2026. That's not even including this month of February. We're doing pretty damn good. Look at us, guys. We're not killing nearly as many people.
But we're proposing a ban on military assault rifles, high-capacity magazines.
Absolutely not. I know former military, and they love their guns. And they've made me love their guns. And now I want to buy said guns. So don't fucking take that right away from me. I don't have enough money right now.
Accountability among responsible gun owners. These should be easy lifts, safe storage, reporting your weapons when they're lost or stolen, closing the ghost gun loophole.
What if I want my gun to be lost or stolen? What if I want my gun to be lost? Hey, you can't tell me. God, I can tell that I'm getting hickish when I do the
Firearm insurance requirement establishes a firearm and ammunition tax and creates and expands early intervention resources, including school resources, working to go back upstream to prevent anything that happened in Annunciation to ever happen again.
I have a great idea. Gun school. We start gun school. We get every American kid so comfortable with guns, and admittedly, some of these kids are going to be excluded from the program. They're just going to be the ones that are like the social outcasts. They're like, oh, you're an American, but you were too fucking weird to get through gun school? Okay, yeah, I can understand why. We'll know the social outcasts because we went to school with them. We're like, oh, some of us know how to appropriately handle a gun. Some of us don't. Some of us were the dopes who couldn't make it through the class.
These are common sense measures. We've made significant progress. We know the data shows our red flag laws are saving lives. We know that these are concrete proposals that make a difference. We've proven to the rest of the world that Minnesota is built differently.
Built differently. Why you gotta use that terminology? You're not hip, my guy. You eat deep fried fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at Valley Fair.
I want to make this case that this legislative session, this is an opportunity to make Minnesota the safest state around gun violence while doing nothing to impinge on your Second Amendment rights.
You're impinging on my right to carry an AK-47 around Snoopy World. I deserve the right to carry my AR-15 around Snoopy World. Open carry. I'm in favor of Minnesota becoming open carry.
So I would encourage the legislators who have this, I'll take them pheasant hunting next year and show them that they can do this.
You've not gone hunting once in your life. I'm sorry. Tim Walz saying he's a hunter is like me saying I'm a hunter. I haven't hunted since I was a child. I was around rifles when I was a kid. And then you watch me like handle it now and I'm just like fucking... You know, it's like that one scene where like Bubba in Forrest Gump, he's like telling him a story, but then Forrest Gump, he's like, I'm done, drill sergeant. And then he's like, God damn, you put that gun together fantastically. I'm Bubba sitting in the back like, holy shit, that was impressive.
We can also show them the data and work together. This is a time for bipartisan action around an issue that tore at the heart and continues to, and we owe it to the Annunciation families not to have that just be another statistic in the book. In Minnesota, that was the final straw. That was it. I pushed and pushed and pushed, and we couldn't even get legislators to have a hearing. Well, those days are over. Some of these folks in here are going to be testifying today, and they're going to continue to testify. And the legislators that are here, you're going to get sick and tired of hearing me talk about something needs to be done on this. We can multitask. We'll tackle fraud. We'll deal with what happened to us from the federal government.
Oh, I love that. We'll tackle fraud. He immediately goes to, we'll deal with how the federal government has been coming down on Minnesota unfairly just because we love to give the Somali peoples a ton of money, just because we love giving 89%, guys. I love when people, they'll go, yeah, the racist angle, the Somali angle. It's never a good angle to go. It's not me making the Somalis do it in disproportionate numbers. I didn't do it. I'm not the one putting out my numbers. I'm not pumping up my numbers of the white population. I'm not out there doing that. Why are they doing that? I don't understand. I'm not making their choices for them. Is that racist of me?
But simultaneously, we're going to take care of our own, especially our children. And with that, it's it's a pleasure to me and an honor to be up here, share this podium with Lydia. So I'll turn it to Lydia.
Ugh, are we going to have to hear some yaps? Oh, I'm sure.
My name is Lydia Kaiser. I'm in 8th grade at Annunciation Catholic School.
Okay, yeah. All right, yep. We're gonna hear how you've been pulled as access. You know what I mean? You're going to advocate for a bill that you barely understand because you're a child. I don't understand. Why do we have children speaking on Capitol Hill? Oh, this kid had a fucking Molotov cocktail thrown at their head. They really understand policy on a deep national level. What are we doing, guys? This is silly. This is goofy. This is silly. Like, get this kid in therapy. We should not be using her as a political tool. This is ridiculous. This is like when the conservatives find a girl who lost like a swimming competition to like a biological male, and then they make her like a figurehead. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Let her go back to her class. Jesus Christ. She's like, she can get another gold medal. It's not that hard. Like, I understand she's got to compete with men, and men are just better at sports than women now. But listen, we live in a new world. We live in a new world where biological men can compete, and is occasionally, and it's not even like a thing. It's not even a thing where people go, that never happens. It's they have numbers on it now. The data is out there. It is occurring all across America, even in little communities. Unfortunately, am I saying that I give a shit? I don't actually care, because I think it's ridiculous to attach any amount of value to sports. I have always grown up around sports culture. I've never understood people that are like, I ran 40 yards in my game in 1995, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? Who you like? You watch Varsity Blues. It's like, it's these guys getting emotional in a locker room, slovenly all over each other. Like, we really played out there, guys. We really gave it our all. It's the gayest. Like, so it's gay. It's gay stuff. It's like when the Greeks, they really got into wrestling and shit like that. The Romans, they just gave up and got into orgies. It's like, that is the modern version of it. Like, gay people, straight guys, straight men need the gay behavior to engage in, and that's sports. It's literally football. It's they look at men's asses all day. They look at the fucking, oh, look at his shoulder build. Or look at the way that look at how he tackled that one guy. The whole game is men tackling each other. It's the gayest thing imaginable. And if you don't acknowledge it, or like even the slightest bit, give it like a slight read. Like, maybe it's a little weird that I like to watch this all the time. Maybe it's a little strange that I love watching men get passionate and sweaty with each other. What is that? What is that environment? It's so strange. It's bizarre. It's like, okay, you're coming across very Andy Warhol, and I don't even think you understand how you are. It's whatever. I love my fellow sports fans because, well, I say fellow sports fans. I've seen The Sandlot. You know, I've seen. What's the one with the ghosts that play in the football field? Not a baseball field. Is it Field of Dreams? Am I thinking of Field of Dreams? I think I'm thinking of Field of Dreams. Yes, I am, because it's got James Earl Jones. I'm sorry, that was a stupid little tangent. Anyways, sports fans, they're fun. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we hop into the rapid fire section of today's headlines? Lots of headlines that we could cover, lots of things we could get into that I don't have time to dedicate 3 to 4 paragraphs to. So we're gonna just get to it, go run through a few things. Let's do our first one. Russia-Ukraine war hits a 4-year marker. Diplomatic friction is just looming. It's still over on the 4th anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Western leaders, they were reaffirming strong support for Kyiv as relations with Moscow remain frozen. French President Emmanuel Macron, he expressed skepticism about peace prospects, and Western delegations publicly challenged Russia's narratives at international forums. Whatever. Sad for them. Emmanuel Macron, why did they mention him in this article? I don't understand why. It's like, he's having enough problems with his mister. I think that they need to leave that household alone, admittedly. Market shocks after U.S. tariff fallout and the threats of new trade barriers following a U.S. Supreme Court decision invalidating key tariff policies. President Trump threatened alternative measures that spooked the global markets. Sending major indexes sharply lower, allies in the UK and EU are scrambling for clarity on the trade implications, are underscoring rising tensions over US economic policy. There's also an intensifying debate over Trump's immigration and law enforcement policies. As we've already debated around here, the Senate Democrats have unveiled proposals to refund billions in tariffs deemed illegal, dovetailing with broader disputes about federal immigration policy and enforcement actions that continue to fuel public protests and legislative fights. Yeah, there's still protests going on. I don't understand. It's the weather's not the greatest right now. The Reese's recipe debate is continuing to heat up. Hershey's company, I think they're striking back, which admittedly, why would you deny a charge that's true? Reese's peanut butter cups suck now. The chocolate always sticks to the wrapper too much to the point where it rips out the peanut butter half the time. I just don't eat it. I never buy it anymore. What is this article trying to tell us? I'm guessing it's trying to tell us that, like, Hershey's is really good. They're laying down the hammer or something.
Call it a milk chocolate meltdown.
Hey, you put your chocolate in my peanut butter.
Peanut butter on my chocolate.
It was disgusting.
Brad Reese, the grandson of the inventor of Reese's peanut butter cups, finding ingredient changes in some Hershey's Reese's products and igniting an online firestorm.
We're making a big change to Reese's peanut butter cups.
It all started when Brad says his Valentine's Reese's Mini Hearts Unwrapped tasted off.
I took a couple bitefuls, and I was like, ew.
Brad says he was...
Bitefuls? My God, you're eating the unwrapped Mini Hearts like handfuls at a time? I'm disgusted by you.
Shocked to find the ingredients listed chocolate candy and peanut butter creme, as opposed to the original recipe's milk chocolate and peanut butter.
I've been around Reese's my whole life. My grandfather invented them. I never thought I had to look at the package to see what I was getting.
Brad sharing an open letter to Hershey's leadership, writing in part, "My grandfather built Reese's on a simple, enduring architecture, milk chocolate and peanut butter, a real tangible product identity that consumers have trusted for a century."
Real milk chocolate. Old-fashioned peanut butter.
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Experts say recipe changes aren't uncommon across the candy industry as cocoa prices have fluctuated in recent years.
Okay, and?
Hershey saying in a statement, in part, as we've grown and expanded the Reese's product line, we made product recipe adjustments, while always protecting the essence of what makes Reese's unique and special.
Shut the fuck up, because people are telling you the essence is wrong. People are telling you the essence is incorrect. So Hershey's, have the decency, I was about to say audacity, they have audacity, have the decency to tell people, yes, we changed it. We changed it a bit, but yes, I'm sorry, the essence might not be right. Maybe we have a bit to learn. Don't go, the essence has remained protected. It's always been the same. You're crazy if you've noticed.
The perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
You
Brad
pieces
says
of shit.
That's not enough.
What my grandfather did, I have much respect for him. This is a mission that I feel it's almost like I prepared my whole life for it. You don't mess with Reese's.
So Brad says he has no issue with the employees at Hershey. He says this is about company leadership, and he hopes that the board at Hershey's will make some tough decisions to get all Reese's products back to his grandfather's original recipe. But at the very least, he's glad his Reese's Ruckus has people talking about what they're putting into their mouth.
It's gross. It doesn't taste the same. No one likes it. I personally haven't bought it in years. Whatever. Anyways, Mexico, their situation, it's getting worse in case you haven't heard about it. Mexico's escalating security operations are continuing after the cartel leader's death following the killing of the CJNG boss, Nemesio El Muncho o Segura Cervantes. Mexico deployed 10,000 troops to quell the violence, and the aftermath has raised concerns about domestic instability, impacts on tourism centers, and implications for the U.S.-Mexico security cooperations. Let's look at this moment. A cartel member fired multiple shots into the municipal palace of Jiquilpan in Mexico. Warning, distressing content. Oh. Just firing into that building. What a beautiful people. Holy, they're firing back. Well, yeah, they tend to do that. Holy shit. This is awesome. Okay, now they're showing a clip of the roadblocks. Guys, I'm going to put this in the description, but the roadblocks, they are burning what appears to look like a fire truck. They have a fire truck blocking up an entire city road, and it's on fire. It's billowing flames. It's getting a little zombie apocalypse. I predicted this. It's very Dead Island, kind of. And, yeah. People are just walking around. Beautiful mountains in the background, by the way. Beautiful real estate. I would actually buy here. I would buy here if it was not falling into chaos. Oh boy. What a fun time to tour the globe. You know, Iran's protests are erupting. Mexico, literally our neighbor to the south. Literally the country sitting up against our southern border. They have cities being blocked up by flaming emergency vehicles because the cartel is upset that they murdered one of their leaders. I mean, if you're not excited to be around, to be watching the news, I don't know what else to say except for get with it. Get with the program. All right, enough of this. People who aren't getting the visual aid, they don't need to see this. South Korean former president, he's appealing his life sentence. Yoon Suk-yeol, ousted and convicted over his brief martial law declaration, appealed his life sentence in the Seoul Central District Court. It's got a lot of significant implications for South Korea's political climate and judiciary legacy because this guy, I'm just going to say it, if you just declare martial law once, not a big deal. Not a big deal. You can say that you inarguably wanted what was best for your country. Mr. Clean, if you don't know, he's hanging up his mop after 68 years on the job. Apparently, Mr. Clean, he can retire. I hate this stupid thing where advertising agencies, they take a character that hasn't been relevant in years, and they go, oh, this is what this guy's actually up to. Like wasn't it Mr. Peanut died one time, and everybody cared about... what is the Peanuts brand? Is it Mr. Peanut? What brand does he represent? Is it literally Mr. Peanut? What brand is he? Planters, goddamn. Okay, yeah, and then that made people care about Planters for a second, and then nobody gave a shit for us, right after. Mr. Clean, do you really need to do this publicity stunt? People will continue to buy the bleach cleaner. People will continue to buy. People always need clean houses. That's just a fact. People don't always need mixed nuts, or at least there's always going to be a market for them that is, Planters is mid-tier. I'm sorry. It's maybe this is actually just a way... Maybe it's a way for companies that are ruining their actual product to make their brand more interesting so people continue to buy it despite the lowering quality.
After nearly 70 years of cleaning up spills and messes, Mr. Clean is hanging up his mop. That's right, Mr. Clean announcing his retirement yesterday saying, quote, Hoda, after a career with 0 stains on the record, I'm ready for new adventures.
What?
It's unclear how old he is because he's looked the same for more than 6 decades now. Mr. Clean, whose first name is actually was first
Variably
back
Clean.
in 1958. His products have been gracing cleaning closets in American homes ever since. Mr. Clean went on to say, quote, no changes are being made to our packaging or our brand name, but I've earned a little time off. More details to come.
More details to come. Very, 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 very fun. Thomas Massie, he's exploding over how the DOJ has handled the Epstein situation, and he wants people prosecuted. He's naming some people that he wants prosecuted. Let's see this.
The gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massie, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Congress created the Department of Justice. Congress funds the Department of Justice, and Congress is responsible for the oversight of the Department of Justice. When will we see justice? I'll tell you what I've not seen. I've not seen any arrests from the revelations in the Epstein files. Over 3 million documents describing horrible things, describing unspeakable things. So much of it redacted. Over 24 people have resigned, CEOs, members of government worldwide. But I haven't seen any arrests.
Because they're innocent. They're innocent. They're trying to protect their legacy. They're trying to protect their legacy because some bad people are coming out and they're saying, hey, you knew this fella. Can you give us a little bit of answers? Like, that's basically persecution. It's evil.
Arrests or investigations here in the United States from this Department of Justice. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, who has since been stripped of his royalty, his royal titles, due to his affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, has been arrested.
And he was been freed. Nobody's talking about the fact that he's not in jail anymore. He's free. He's still under investigation, but he's free, and nothing's going to come of it. They only did the arrest so that people could get a photo op. Like, it was a public humiliation ritual, because it happened on his 66th birthday. 66 divided by 2, 33. It was a Freemason humiliation ritual.
Mandelson, who previously served as UK's ambassador to the United States, resigned in disgrace from United Kingdom's House of Lords and the Labour Party. And he's been arrested. Former Prime Minister of Norway, Torbjorn Jagland, has been charged. But we don't see any charges, arrests, or investigations in the United States. What do we see? We see our FBI director celebrating in the locker room at the Olympics overseas.
It's the gay, yeah. Once again, it's men getting too into sports. You see this clip of Kash Patel, like, he's shaking champagne or whatever all over his buddies. They're making their white shirts all see-through. Sports are the gayest thing imaginable, and men who are into them are secretly the gayest among us.
It's fine to be proud of this country, but we should be proud of this country because we have a system of justice that works. And yet we do not. Who are the men that should be investigated? I'll name them right here. Leon Black. You don't even have to see past the redactions to see that this man needs to be investigated. Jess Staley, accused of terrible things. It's right there in the files. Why is he not being investigated?
Why?
And Leslie Wexner. Why did the FBI list him as a co-conspirator in their own documents in a child sex trafficking case, and then tell him, according to him, that they had no questions for him? Why is that? Well, the Epstein Files Transparency Act...
Because Leslie Wexner is an innocent bystander, and as his lawyer worded, he'll fucking kill us all if we answer with more than 5 words. So I'm over my 5-word limit. Continue. I'm sorry.
Requires the DOJ and the FBI to disclose to us their internal memos and emails about how they made those decisions, whether to prosecute or not prosecute. Yet they have not delivered those memos. And we still don't have the memos and documents and emails from 2008 to explain why Jeffrey Epstein was given such a light sentence in what would have been an open and shut case.
Because he was innocent.
Sex trafficking, which allowed him to go back and recommit these terrible crimes.
He was innocent.
Hundreds of more victims. And ensnare so many other people in his conspiracy. Where are those documents that describe those decisions?
They're non-existent.
Justice. We want the Department of Justice to get to work, and that's what they need to do now. Madam Speaker, I rise today to let the American people know that this government is under siege. All 3 branches of this government is under siege by lobbyists and lawyers from a German company named Bayer. They spent over $9 million lobbying the executive branch and the legislative branch so that they don't have to be liable for any damages that their herbicide causes, otherwise known as Roundup. And they're having some success. Now, they haven't had any success yet in this chamber to get that immunity. They've had some success in the state legislatures, which are also under siege, to get this immunity from liability. Look, the Constitution guarantees people a trial if they've been harmed. Why are we contemplating going against the Constitution? The Attorney General has opined favorably for this German company in front of the Supreme Court about getting rid of any liability that they should have for any damages.
Heck yeah. Free them.
And the most recent thing that we've seen, the executive branch. By the way, the president's chief of staff and the president's attorney general worked for one of the biggest lobbying firms that's received hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars from...
Hey, quit saying that. Quit. Hey, shh. You're giving away the game. You're giving away the game.
And maybe that's why we've seen an executive order that says that the production of this chemical from this German company is a national defense priority. And we know why they're doing that. It's to keep them from having any liability.
To kill all the Jews.
Country deserves their
I love that we're going after the Germans again. We're like, the Germans are doing it. They're trying to kill the Jews.
In court. This is wrong. We shouldn't succumb to the lobbyists, not in the executive branch, not in the judicial branch, and certainly not here in Congress, and not in the state legislatures, but there's a lot of money at play. And I implore my colleagues to resist it and do not give them immunity. And I yield back.
Immunity. He already went over his time limit. I heard the gavel bang. All right. No. Enough. You can't pretend like you abided by the rules when you didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cover our final story, and I will release you into the rest of your lovely Tuesday. I hope that you had a good time listening to the stories as much as I had gathering them for you. Let's cover our last one. It's, I'm going to say it, guys, optional viewing, because, once again, we will be covering the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. So, in case you don't feel like engaging with Goy Slop today, feel free to call it a day and like and subscribe at the very least so we can catch tomorrow's upload. But thank you, and let's get into it. Guthrie family is offering $1 million Austin Powers reward for info about their mother. What the fuck are we doing, guys? She's dead and she's being dissolved in sulfuric acid on Epstein's island right now. What are we doing, Savannah? Don't even try to lie to me. In a desperate bid to find her missing 84-year-old mother, Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie has announced this morning that her family is now offering a $1 million reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's recovery. Didn't you guys have a Bitcoin address that you could have deposited and then you could have got her back this whole time? Like, what are we doing, guys? They said that they'd have her back by 12 hours because he's hiding in Colorado's Grand Junction. The emotional announcement. It's coming via a video posted on Instagram. It's marking 24 days since Nancy was abducted from her Tucson, Arizona home on February 1st. Savannah, who's been away from her anchor desk at the Today Show and says that she might not come back because she's just loving vacation too much since the disappearance, she spoke through tears telling the public somebody knows something. Please be the light in the dark. Oh, shut up. Oh my God, it's so performative. This is like Sandra Bullock. The move is offering such a substantial sum. It's coming as the investigation is hitting a critical juncture. It's weird that this article uses it because Grand Junction is actually where people think that the actual person who might have kidnapped her was hiding because the only person who searched for Nancy Guthrie's address, according to Google Trends, before she was kidnapped was some rando in Grand Junction, Colorado. Why would that be? I have no idea. But it is exactly about 10 to 11 and a half hours from her Tucson, Arizona area where she would have been returned if the Bitcoin amount was paid. So that's my assumption as to where she may be. The move, it's coming, the FBI and the Pima County investigators, they're currently following up on new evidence suggesting the suspect, a masked man seen on doorbell footage, may have surveilled the home days before abduction, because he was seen again on the doorbell camera footage, but oddly enough, and this was such a weird thing for the media to do, they censored that man's face when they put the video out. Don't you want our help finding him? What are we doing, guys? All right, whatever. Fuck it. They don't want us to find him. They just want us to be distracted by it. Forensic teams are also re-examining DNA found on a discarded glove 2 miles from the residence. What are we fucking... Why? Why? In addition to the reward, the Guthrie family has announced a $500,000 donation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. She wasn't a child. Dummies. And to support other families facing the same agonizing uncertainty. Why? Authorities are urging anyone with even the smallest details to come forward, reminding the public that they remain entirely anonymous. And you can give any information regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie to a dedicated FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Let's review this footage of Miss Pancake Face herself, Savannah Guthrie. Put on makeup, girly.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm coming on to say it is day 24.
Really?
Since our mom was taken.
I love that movie. In the dark of the night. Look at how illustrative she is with her language. When our mother was taken in the dark of night.
Was taken in the dark of night from her bed.
Isn't night normally dark? Dummy.
And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then.
Because she just won't stop screaming. She's in my basement, and my brother and my sister are torturing her, and I can't sleep through my own mother's screaming. It's ridiculous. Whatever.
Of worrying about her, and fearing for her.
Tell her she can stop playing. Tell her that she can stop playing now, because according to your book, you guys used to play Kidnap all the time. Tell her that the game is over and that she can come out now. Aching for her.
And most of all, just missing.
You ache for your mother? That sounds weird.
Caring for her, aching for her.
That's weird.
And most of all, just missing her.
Yeah, I bet.
Missing her.
Missing her.
We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all.
Of no faith at all, too, guys. You've been praying for me. You've been praying for me.
Praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing.
Without ceasing, please.
We still believe.
Please keep focusing on me. Me. I'm gonna write a book about this. Me. I'm never coming back to the Today Show because I was too scarred and marred by my 84-year-old mother. Like, come on. She had a good life. People normally lose their mother by like 70-something. Come on. If she wasn't gonna die within the next few years, you would have lost her anyways. Get back to work.
We still believe.
We still believe.
In a miracle.
In a miracle.
We still believe that she can
Waiting on a miracle. What is this, Encanto?
come home. Hope against hope.
Hope against hope.
As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope.
What the fuck are you? Your family are philosophers now? You're sitting, we're blowing on the embers of hope to erect the fire that will eventually light the way to our mother. You guys are not Greek philosophers enough. You sit around eating hummus and you feel like you're fucking suddenly like in the Middle East breaking through walls of consciousness. Enough.
We also know.
Sound like Al Gore in the 2000 presidential debate.
We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone.
So can you just stop making these videos?
She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves.
Okay, God help her.
And is dancing in heaven.
Okay,
with
then.
her mom and her dad.
Why are you telling us this? Like, keep this to yourself, lady. Sorry, she wasn't my mom, alright?
And with her beloved brother, Pierce.
Pierce Hawthorne. Yes. Oh, I miss Pierce. Ever since he died in season 5 of Community, and he didn't come back, but he was in that lava lamp, like his essence and whatnot. Why don't they do that? They can extract her, because if she's like a 7th level Eon or something, they can extract her being and put it into this lava lamp, and then they can bring her back in a solid form in a few years. And before you know it, she'll be in the kitchen making me and Troy sandwiches again.
And with our daddy. If this is what is to be, then we will accept it.
Then stop making videos.
But we need to know where she is.
No, you don't. She's dissolved in a vat. And you will never see her. Her bones are gone. Every part of her that once was is disintegrated into nothingness. It is new atoms that will reform in a few eons to become moss, probably on the ground, wherever someone decided to dump that barrel. That is what is left of your mother. I don't mean to be cruel, rude, or whatever, but it's just true.
We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million.
This is literally like a Willy Wonka style like prize that they're just tossing out. Like this, if you need people to talk about anything else besides Epstein, besides any revelations about tech CEOs, the people who cut your check, worshiping Baal on the weekends, if we don't want to talk about that, guys, there's $1 million reward to help the lady on the Today Show find your mom. this is something that actual low IQ individuals will be pointing, they'll be getting excited over it and whatnot. Knock it off, all right? Your mother is worm food.
Or any information that leads us to her recovery. So please.
Do we get a tour of a chocolate factory with this? This is a golden ticket. It's $1 million, guys. This is impressive shit. She's laying out the groundwork for what probably... Is this legal, by the way? Is this legal? Is this technically considered an illegal lottery?
If you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure.
Bro, for $1 million, I'll come be your mom. I will leave my life in the Midwest. I will leave this podcast. I will move out to Tucson, and I will be your mom. I'll live longer than she ever would. I'll put on the makeup every morning. I'll put on the stupid little haircut that she had, like a wig. Or I'll even get it cut. I'll get it cut and dyed and whatnot. I will be your mom for that much money, Savannah Guthrie. How about this counter offer? Make it $1 million and like a nice little villa. And we can go live out in California together and drink rosé and talk about that funny time when you made me disappear.
Let this be your sign. So please come forward.
I volunteer. Tell what I know. I volunteer.
Help us bring our beloved mom home.
I'll be there in a second,
so
Savannah.
They can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming, or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived.
Mama's coming home, Savannah.
In the dark.
Mama's coming home. Thank you, Savannah. I'm going to be there in a second, Savannah. Trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go endure gender transition surgery now in order to play the part of Nancy Guthrie, as I want that $1 million sum. I can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, in case I do not get the $1 million, you will see me next episode. Whether or not I've gone through the transition surgery, that's if they get back to me in time, you know what I mean? They need to let me know if I'm going to be playing their mom. I already got the surgery scheduled. That's why I got to go. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I had such a fun time gathering these stories. We will have even more next episode. The rest of the week, we're riding it out. It's going to be great. Subscribe if you want more, like if you liked it, ring the bell if you want notifications. But in the meantime, this has been Ollie Vogt Larson with your Brain on Air. Thank you so very much for listening, and bye-bye.